is for a wonderful, a lovely, a highly intuitive galactic leader. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope that this message finds you well. And I have been waiting until just the divine time to deliver this message to you. And timing is important for your journey. Slow and steady. The tortoise has been coming up a lot lately. And I'm feeling very called to mention that slow and steady wins the race. Now, that's not slow and avoiding. That's not fast and uber passionate into it and then fizzling out. But slow and steady wins the race. We have a time of conflict, betrayal, deep sadness, trying to close out here. I have the 5 of Swords in reverse coming out here. So a time where you've been experiencing this, and this is trying to come to a close for you in your life. Yes, a time of hopelessness, 5 of Cups, a time of deep, deep sadness is trying to close out here for you. These 2 are coming out in reverse. What does she need to know about? Well, 555 may be significant for you. We have the 5 of Pentacles coming out in reverse as well. This time of isolation, like you may have been going through this time where you kind of just like hold yourself off and weren't really sharing a lot with people about what you were going through. We have 3 5s in reverse here. Massive change. Ooh, chills with that. Massive change. Oh, just so much like loneliness and grief, like all the feels coming in. And what else do we have? Queen of Cups. You've been really focusing on coming into a state of self-love during this time. You've been focusing just really on trying to make it through and giving yourself the comfort that you need in order to process these heavy events, this heavy event that has happened in your life. I don't want to say to you or for you. We know that it happened to you and for you. Both are valid statements. It's not just to you, but it is happening to you. You do experience all of this isolation, loneliness, feeling left out in the cold, unsure of like where to turn, waves of massive pain coming in and huge sadness coming in. But you are turning the corner now with that. And there's a massive need for self-love to continue forward. So if that is something that you've been focusing on, please continue to keep your focus on that self-love, the Queen of Cups in reverse here. Because that is what is going to bring you through this time period. I just feel like there's just so much that's happened that kind of like turned your world upside down. And it may be more than one event. There may be some feelings of not just, you know, all of what these cards bring, these 5s bring in the tarot, but also there may be a piece of you that is feeling unsuccessful, unworthy. You may have hit some highly like depressive states, like sad states. Yeah, wow. I feel this for you, my friend. I feel this for you. But you are turning that corner. So all these reverses are things that that show us that we can like turn that around, that we're moving in another direction. We're moving more towards love. So this Knight of Cups coming out sideways, which is telling me that there is a little work that's needing to be done on advancing yourself more into this self-love state. Coming out upright would tell me that you are advancing yourself into the self-love state well. Sideways or reverse is telling me that there's some work that needs to be done on focusing here. So it's not something that you've quite mastered yet from a major tower moment that you've been through. So this could be a group of events. But I'm really feeling that it is like mainly one solid event that kind of like shook up your life for a while. But then there could have been some other, like one solid event, one major tower coming over, one main bird, and then but then there were also other little things that were coming forward too that were causing such upheaval in your life. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Coming into more of a moment of clarity. You're starting to see the other side. The Ace of Swords coming out of here sideways, which says that like this really is like you're getting right around that bend in the river to where you can see more clearly of what's coming up. Stepping back into your spiritual journey, I'm hearing as well. But slow and steady wins the race here. Okay, so don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Things come at us where we need to take time and we need to regroup and we need to heal and we need to focus on particular things that are happening around us. The way in which we approach that is so important. Leaning into other people and letting them know what you're going through, not keeping that all locked up inside yourself. But you are coming into more of a moment of clarity after being in a lot of just sadness and darkness and heaviness, lots of heaviness there. Page of Cups. Yeah, expect for things to start changing. Expect for some spirit communication to start flowing back in ways that you were kind of starting to get used to. It sounds like spirit kind of they didn't leave you, but they were allowing you to process. So if you kind of felt isolated and alone spiritually in some ways as well, when it comes to like communication, signs, synchronicities coming in, a lot of that had to do with your need to take time for whatever this event was that happened. What else would you like for me to say to this beautiful soul, please? Have patience with yourself. Don't feel like you have to perform a certain way. Don't forget to lean into spirit at this time, God, your higher self at this time, surrender coming out, and the worry card coming out. So surrender all of those fears, all of those worries, all of that sadness to the Most High God. Let your spirit team help you along with this. It says, I can release my need to control, and I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome, right? Worry, sadness, over concern with particular pieces of what you're going through, releasing those and understanding that there was nothing that you could do to have changed this circumstance, the outcome of the circumstance. I'm being guided to say that to you, that there wasn't anything that you personally could do. They want me to pull from this Kali Oracle deck as well. Make room, clear out emotions that you may be harboring inside of you. Make sure you're taking time to release with tears when necessary. Even if that means listening to sad songs and watching sad movies, just so you can get a release, maybe on the ticket for you. But not forgetting that joy is important as well. Finding moments of gratitude and joy in all that you have around you. Even the little things, just the little things that you see around you. Lots of grace, compassion for yourself. I'm just imagining like that you've been so hard on yourself, like that you should be like over it, healed from it by now, farther along. Lots of like negative energy that you are allowing to flow through your mind. And start imagining yourself as like a little child. How would you treat that little child? Mother yourself the way that like you would speak to children that are going through a really hard time. 22 is the number on this card that came out, and it is called Dhumavati. Beloved mother who dwells in the smoke, who presides over the most difficult transitions. She who knows that certain endings are unavoidable. That goes right back to what Spirit wanted me to say to you, your guides wanted me to say to you, which is that you couldn't have changed these outcomes. These weren't for you to control. I just hear free will choices were at play, and nothing you could have done, said, thought would have changed that, because these are other humans that are involved in these situations. They are necessary predecessors to radical reinvention. Her presence brings the message that though disappointment, defeat, or loss and the negative repercussions of such experiences may cause suffering for a time, they will not limit your future happiness. They are a means for opening as yet unrecognized pathways for fulfillment. Your trust must be unconditional at this time, and later you shall see that everything has worked out for the absolute best. The seventh Mahavidya wisdom goddess is Dhumavati. She is the crone goddess, and uniquely in the Hindu context from which she arises, also a widow. Her name means she who is made of smoke. And as the expression goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. Dhumavati is associated with profound suffering. Just as smoke is the polluting and concealing manifestation of fire, it can be hard to believe there is any divine blessing, hidden or otherwise, when we are in the agonies of intense suffering. In honoring Dhumavati, we acknowledge that suffering is a part of life and can develop compassion. Our capacity for kindness is often in direct proportion to the suffering that we have experienced and processed, as it can grow empathy and wisdom in the soul. Some continue to create pain for themselves and others, and others alleviate suffering in the world through what they have learned. The difference comes through the willingness to face and process pain. Dhumavati can help us find the courage to be real about our suffering, neither becoming lost in it nor avoiding it, but rather to go through it and process it. So like I'd said in the beginning, slow and steady wins the race, but not slow and avoiding, but also not trying to rush through and burn like hot fire and then get burnt out, right? Dhumavati is often associated with the most painful aspects of the human existence, it says, aging, disease, thirst, poverty, hunger, death, and ugliness on all levels. This may cause some to fear her and try to push her away, yet when we are suffering greatly, we can know that she is with us. With her black, smoky skin, she becomes the blackened Madonna, the beloved mother who does not watch our suffering from some remote place in blissful detachment, but suffers along with us. Our cries resonate in her heart. In our emotional anguish, she is our sacred companion, and her presence can help us bear witness with honesty and courage. Healing begins with an acknowledgement of suffering. You cannot resolve an issue if you deny it exists. Bearing honest witness is the only way for change to begin. When Dhumavati arises in a reading, there is an opportunity to end a profound and difficult struggle, perhaps one that is obscured and difficult to articulate and acknowledge. Such truth-speaking to yourself happens when you can admit, this is not good for me, or I'm not sure yet what or how, but something needs to stop. Dhumavati is sometimes depicted with two crows attempting to pull a cart they cannot move. At other times, her cart is without means of movement at all. She brings the message that the path you are on cannot take you any further. This doesn't mean that life is over, but rather that life as you have known it has come to an end. This is the inception of a new cycle. To be ready for it, as we know from Kali's mysteries, we must grieve and release what has been. In the social context from which Dhumavati emerges, widows are at the edges of acceptable social status. In this way, Dhumavati is a goddess for those who have been shunned, criticized, denounced, for those forced out of social status or positioned through circumstances that are not necessarily of their own choosing. When external events seem to be forcing you in a certain direction, feelings of vulnerability can arise, but then so can a sense of being deeply guided by the universe. Dhumavati's presence signifies a time when something you once counted on has failed you in some way. Through that process, opportunities open that would not have been otherwise available to you. Dhumavati is a harbinger of endings and loss, but also of radical trust and secret blessings that are revealed later, and most often unexpectedly. Something avoided at all costs happens anyway, and we end up being grateful for it because it frees us. New horizons open up. Everything changes. It wasn't easy. It took courage. It hurt a lot. We had to grow, but she was there with us, letting us know this feels terrible, but something good is going to come from it. The pain will end. You are going to become more than just okay. You are going to thrive. I feel this depth for you. I feel like protection is really important for you. I'm looking at this beautiful bracelet that has a dove on it, which is a symbol of hope, of things changing. My friend Ness made this. It's a protection bracelet though. And I feel like protection is really important for you right now, and keeping your eyes on hope. I'm gonna shuffle and go 3 down, 33. Sandalphon, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. So I hear with this that there may be a spiritual connection that needs to happen, a communication with someone on the other side, whether that's your guides or a person. Definitely a connection that needs to be made, a bridge that needs to, some type of information needs to be taken either from this energy or given to this energy. This deck. 10 of Swords at the split. Someone that was in a lot of pain. More. Someone you can't see, and like you can't see any of this. Okay, someone that you had a very complex relationship with. It's someone that you love, not necessarily romantically. The Lovers, the Two of Cups, definitely soulmate energy. This can be platonic soulmate energy, but it's someone who is dealing. So this may be someone that's on the other side that may not have successfully crossed over all the way, or wants to give you a message about a not nice energy. So they're either plagued by deep negative energy and need assistance crossing over, or it's someone that has died, the Death card here, that's feeling trapped. Tell me a little bit more about that, please, because I'd like more clarity. A little unexpected message there. So feeling trapped. I really feel like it's someone that needs assistance. Yeah, they're holding. I feel like it's someone that needs assistance that passed on. Or they want your assistance with helping someone pass on. If you want to know like more in depth about this, you can book with me, but you should be able to sit there and get these questions all on your own. Yeah, it's someone that wants to speak to you, and some really not great energy is surrounding this conversation, and they're wanting you to know either that they need help or that they'd like you to help someone that's on the other side, opening up a portal to allow them to cross over so they can reunite with this person. So this card could be talking about a reunion with you and communication, 3 of Cups, but it can also be talking about wanting this soul to be able to reunite as well. Yeah. All right. That's all I've got for this reading here. Tapping into that would take a lot more than what I have time for on this one, but you should be able to connect on this and get the answers that you need, because I know you have the knowledge, skills, tools, and ability to do so. All right. I love you and thank you. And you are coming around the bend, okay? You are coming around the bend. Things are going to get clearer. Focus on that self-love. Get in touch with your spirit guides and have them answer questions for you on the message that was delivered there with the cards here at the end. Just a line of yes, no questioning should do just fine. All right. Take care.